Guys, I'm so sorry. I screwed up the recording last week. It's not Jake's fault. It's all my fault, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It was a Thanksgiving miracle, but we're back for all of you cuz I know everybody's really excited to hear our thoughts again this week, especially because in our short reasoning last week, I think both of us did pretty atrociously. So, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's great. Nice adding on to our records. I am now negative in my upsets, so that's fun too. How you know what we haven't let off a show with this in a while. Let's tell the audience how intelligent we are in terms of picking football games.
Why? They're gonna click off then. Do you want my overall record or my record for the week?
Start with the locks, then the upsets, then the overall
Or
locks.
so overall of that, or just for the week?
Oh, overall.
Okay. In my locks, I am now 7-5.
Ooh.
In my upsets, I'm 19-29-1. And in my overall picks, I'm 99-80-1.
I still got a bit of a lead over you in the overall category. 6-6 for the locks, 24-27 for the upsets, which is starting to get pretty tragic, and 108-71-1 for overall. So just in terms of last week for all the games, how did you do last week in all the games, not the other categories?
I went 6-9.
Okay, and I went 7-8, so I gained a game on you in terms of all the games, which is still awful. I mean, last week was really fun to look around the league and just see
Yeah,
how
sure it
crazy
was.
everything was. But every week that we pick Detroit, it seems to not end well for us. So I mean, maybe we'll learn eventually. Maybe we won't pick Detroit this week.
Maybe.
We obviously have to start off in Detroit though. So what did you think happened in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, ever since Detroit played the Eagles, like that was that game. You and I both agreed like they might not win another one after that. But it seems like every week that has come after that Philly game for them, it's like they can win this one. They can win this one, or we just convinced ourselves they can win it. I mean, Matt Nagy was going to get fired, and then the ownership bailed out of it. So yeah,
Yeah,
guess
they
he won.
literally only bailed out of it because it got like leaked to the public. And they probably, I literally think, yeah, like no analysis for this game. I like talking about this more than the game itself because who cares about the fact that anyone beat the Lions?
Everyone watched it. Everyone was staying with their family for
Yeah,
Thanksgiving. Everyone watched it.
yeah, no. The only reason Matt Nagy did not get fired is because the news that he was going to get fired got leaked before the game, and then they had to have him come out and announce that he wasn't getting fired after the game. So, I mean, that's the only reason he actually didn't get fired because they were planning to fire him. I bet they were. And
Oh
then they were
yeah,
just like, uh-oh.
and like doubling down on it. They definitely can't fire him after a win.
No.
So that like you should, if you want to get rid of him, get rid of him. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses, but you can't fire a coach after he wins. But they'll fire him like next week or whenever he loses.
Hopefully. Raiders at Cowboys.
Uh Wild game. This was the game that convinced me that I was going to go 0-3 on Thanksgiving. Um just the Derek Carr played really, really well, and the Cowboys did not look too great. I mean, Micah Parsons is looking like a stud. He's probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Even without Darren Waller, Raiders looked good, which is just weird. The Raiders are weird. Like I don't know, man. But Dallas, like, they've become the new Saints, where it's like, yep, ball out one week and then just lose against a bad team the next week. So I'm excited to see what they do because it seems like they got the NFC East on lock, but I don't know. Maybe the Eagles or the football team can figure something out down the stretch and
Nah,
take them over if
nah.
they're playing bad. I don't.
Well, I don't think that'll happen. I think once they actually meet head to head, they're still going to be able to beat those guys. Man, maybe I don't know. I shouldn't give up on anything with how this season it's gone. So maybe I shouldn't say that at all. But no, yeah, I was definitely surprised by this one. I really wasn't expecting. I mean, I know these offenses are both good. I just figured the Raiders, after what we had seen for a little while here now in a stretch for them, weren't going to be able to put up that many points against Dallas, and they did. Props to the Raiders. Bills at Saints.
Yeah, this is what solidified me going 0 for 3 on Thanksgiving. I picked the Saints to win in an upset, and Trevor Siemian proved why he should not be the starting quarterback for the Saints, and I'm glad the Saints are finally taking action on that and putting taste. Don't be like that. I pick against the Bills every week. Um,
Yo, I'm just not appreciating the Trevor Siemian slander. That's
y-
really what I'm upset about.
yeah, yo, no, Trevor Siemian looked great. Josh Allen still is not on point, but I mean, as a Bills fan, I can't complain. I like it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, Josh could definitely be playing better, but he's playing good, and I haven't seen consistent good QB play from a Bills quarterback in so long. Where it's like, I feel like I'm just getting overwhelmed with riches, and I want more. But won the game through 4 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions is not good. Um, Losing Trey White's the biggest takeaway of this. I would have rather traded this as a Bills fan in for a loss and keep Trey for the rest of the season. But yeah,
No, not to the Saints. I don't know how I'd
I,
feel.
I
I don't
we
know how I'd
lost to the
feel.
Jags. We lost to the Jags. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bright side of losing to the Jags is literally like that. I swear the offense didn't actually touch the field that day. So I mean, like half the ball played well. I feel like both sides of the ball would have needed to play poorly to lose to the Saints. So I mean, that's I don't know. No, yeah. No, I just love the all Madden CPU stats for Josh Allen. I already told you that though. I just need
If he
to
can
reveal
keep it
that
up,
to
we're
the
gonna win a Super Bowl.
well,
If he can keep it up, we're gonna win a Super Bowl.
82% completion percentage while also throwing 2 interceptions is tremendous.
And 4 touchdowns.
Yes, yes, exactly. Um, Steelers at Bengals. I don't really know what we're gonna say about this.
Yep. Pittsburgh's frauds. Cincinnati, just proved that you could run the ball all over them. Any team that plays Pittsburgh, just run the ball down their throat. It'll work. Not having TJ Watt also hurts, so that plays into a factor of it as well. But Joe Mixon, I mean, with all the other good running backs being hurt, solidifying himself as a top 2 running back in the NFL right now since everyone else wants to get hurt. I mean, Jonathan Taylor and him basically right now are the 2 best ones that are playing that are on the field. Uh, Joe Burrow still looking great. T Higgins awesome. Love everything about that offense. Tyler Shelvin too. He made a tackle from what I saw, so proud of that.
He made a tackle from what I saw. Oh, that's
It was
tremendous.
the joke that we made about Tyler Shelvin. Like, if a team were to draft him, what an offense would have to do of just running the running back straight into him for him to is exactly what they handed the ball to Najee Harris and he just ran straight at him and he tackled him. I was like, yes, yes.
Oh, that's tremendous. Good job, Pittsburgh. You're outdoing yourself every week. Yeah. I mean, you killed the analysis there. I guess I should start off talking about the Panthers at the Dolphins then.
Yes.
That really just comes down to the fact that Cam Newton's playing like it just. I mean, if Cam Newton plays like trash, this team has no chance. It doesn't help that they actually allowed the Miami Dolphins to put what it was 33-10 by the end of the game, was it not? That was the final
Yeah,
score.
something like that.
That's pretty disgusting. Jeez, you're letting Tua Tagovailoa do that to you? I mean, he's throwing his rubber ducky passes up the sidelines, and people are like, "Oh, jeez, wow, he threw a touchdown." And it's like, "Yeah, wow, that was an awful throw. Good job, Tua." Quarterback play still looked absolutely horrendous in this, just from looking at the highlights. I can't imagine that would have been too fun of a game to watch because even if I was trying to watch one of these QBs, it would be Cam Newton, and he only put up 10 points, and seemingly the 7 points was purely because of his offensive lineman on that one play. So glad I didn't have to watch this game, but I am surprised by the outcome. We'll have to see where Miami goes from this point on.
Yeah, their defense has looked better, but don't hate on Tua. He's first in the NFL over the course of November in yards per completion, which is 8. So all that proves to me is like the yak of the
Jalen
Dolphins
Waddle.
receiver,
Yeah.
yeah, is insane because like Tua's average depth of target on a completion has to be like 4.5 or 5 yards. So for him to be averaging 8 yards of completion is just wild.
Yeah. I'm just realizing this now. Sorry, moving on to the next game, but I'm literally just realizing this now. I don't know if I actually remember like seeing. I can't remember off the top of my head like if I even remember a single play from the Eagles at Giants game. Like I know it happened, but I know the final score, but I have no idea. I don't know. The Giants won though, and that's
Yeah,
kind of shocking with how the Eagles have kind of been at least beating incompetent teams this year.
it was mainly the Giants just like falling on their face into a win, like lucking into it. Um, Jalen Hurts played really bad. Like this was his worst game of the season. He played really, really bad, and they still almost won. If Jalen Rager could have hauled in a ball to get a touchdown there, or at least tie it, uh, send it to OT. But yeah, Jalen Hurts played his worst football of the season, and that's why the Eagles lost.
Makes sense. Then I guess we get to talk about, the best team in professional football right now, and that would be the New England Patriots, and the Tennessee Titans went and visited them.
Yeah, I mean the Titans. Just starting on the Titans, they're such an interesting team because they got no one now, like Tannehill, and even then, when we were talking about like all the talent that the Titans had at the start of the season, when we're like they could legitimately go like undefeated or 2 losses, and now they've just lost all that talent to injury. But like even Tannehill's like, do we count him? And now he's the only one that's left of that whole like group. Uh but still like 2 100-yard rushers on the offense, both of them running backs. Usually you see that it's like QB and a running back, but 2 running backs, it's interesting. Uh yeah, just not enough to beat New England. Too well coached, too much everything. Mac Jones is looking crisp with his throws. I mean, he did miss one. The one note that I have for Mac Jones, like the one bad play he had was just the egregious overthrow to Hunter Henry on one of the plays where it's like you just got to put a little bit more under that. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
come
only.
on, man. You won by more than 3 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
He's just
In New England, if there's any room for improvement, we're gonna make you run 100 sprints after practice.
exactly, and
So
seriously, subconsciously, like I could probably find like notes on. I mean, the next game we're going to talk about is the Falcons at the Jags, but like Matt Ryan, blah blah blah, Trevor Lawrence, blah blah blah. But in my brain, it's like this is the Patriots. You shouldn't be missing the throw by that much. Like Mac Jones is running laps. Uh but yeah, New England keeps it rolling. They get a primetime game this week. I'm not looking forward to it.
nope, me neither. Well, I mean, I'm almost to the. I mean, one more hard loss for the Bills, and my fandom may completely evaporate entirely. So who knows? But Tennessee and New England. Obviously, we didn't think Tennessee was going to be able to win this game, but just more wonderful, boring New England football. And by boring New England football, I actually mean football that I love to watch. Like I really enjoy it. I doubt anyone else does, but I just think it's really impressive. Even if it's boring, like being able to do what they do is just insane. And the fact that basically over a 2-year period, they've basically been able to completely reconstruct their roster into like what it's been for so long is absolutely insane to me, considering they have I would say basically undisputed best player of all time leaving them, and basically they're able to find a guy that what.
I thought you were going to say they drafted the undisputed best player of all time,
Well,
Mac
I
Jones.
mean,
You're already going to bestow about
I
him.
mean, you watching this dude? Because if they keep doing what they're doing, I'm not saying that he's going to be leading them every year in terms of being the most important guy on the roster. But
No, that's what Ramondre is there for. Yeah.
yeah, but the thing is that if if you're the leader, if you're the quote at the position that is the leader of the team that ends up winning the Super Bowl, you're usually looked upon pretty highly, and I don't see any reason that with how this team plays, they couldn't be in contention for that a lot in the future, to say the very least. So I don't know. And obviously I'm also still hyped that I just hyped up Mac Jones all offseason, and he couldn't have went to a better situation for him to really just absolutely set the league on fire, and really no other rookie quarterback is touching him, which is also very fun. I don't know. I said a lot there. Did you want to respond to any of that, or just move on?
You got it mainly covered.
Okay. Falcons at Jags.
Yeah, terrible game, but I got it right and you didn't. That's all I got to say about it.
It's true.
The Falcons are in a tier of their own, and it's slightly above the Jags.
Beautifully said. And like I said to you though, after the fact, I didn't know they were getting Cordell Patterson back. That's like the X factor right there. If
It's their entire offense.
it is. I really didn't know that he was coming back. Actually, and honestly about the Steelers too. I'm having so much trouble keeping up with injuries at this point. I didn't know T.J. Watt didn't play in that game. Like I'm just there's so many injuries to keep track of, especially if you're not an offensive player. Getting injured, like either you're a returning offensive player, I may not know that you're returning, or if you're a defensive player, I may not know that you're injured at all. So that, I mean, those things don't help me pick games properly. But yeah, you got it right. So praise to you. That's what I can say. Good job being better than me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we both got the next game wrong. So why were the Colts not able to pull it out against the Buccaneers?
Because the kick return didn't go for a touchdown on that last kickoff. That's the only reason why. No, they had him on the ropes. But you can't let Tom Brady be the last one to touch the ball, which, I mean, he wasn't the last one to touch the ball, but basically, yeah, that's the only reason why. The Colts played an almost perfect game, and then they let Brady be the last one to have the ball.
Yeah, no, I thought Brady was going to be like ticked off at Leonard Fournette for scoring a touchdown there, not just going down so they could take the 3 and win. I was like, dang, Leonard, you're I'd be screaming at him, to be completely honest, if I was on that team. But they gave the Colts a chance. It almost bit them in the butt. But the only thing that ticked me off more than the fact that he wasn't able to score on the kick return, which, actually just not being able to like outmaneuver somebody or have some crazy athletic feat when you do something incredible in terms of already being able to return it to basically the opposing team's 40. I'm not actually upset by that. What I'm upset by is the fact that there were 10 seconds left on the clock. They had one timeout left, and these geniuses that the Colts are, scheming up offense, really thought, oh, we need to go towards the sideline here. And, because they will be guarding the sideline, like, no doubt. Like, somebody's going to be able to get open if you send everybody at different levels running crossing routes. And there's no way that you can't get it to them, have them get down and call a timeout with 10 seconds left. I don't know if they thought they were going to be able to run 3 plays if they went to the sideline, but that's just stupid to think that that's possible. And I hated that because it meant that they had to run a Hail Mary on the last play of the game instead of having at least some sort of like route combinations and at least like depth towards the end zone that like maybe you could develop something beyond just a chuck and pray ball with that receiving core, which I don't think is set up at all to be the type of receiving core you want on a Hail Mary. But there may not be many that are set up that way, but especially not those guys, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Jets at Texans.
Yeah, it was a crap game, and I got it wrong, and you got it right.
The other way for this one. But this one wasn't as highly disputed, so, doesn't matter as much. Just boring.
Yeah.
Great job, Jets. You didn't lose to Houston.
Zach Wilson didn't look garbage. Like, he looked bad. Didn't look god awful.
Chargers at Broncos.
I don't know what's up with the Chargers, man. I really don't know what's up with them. Javonte Williams had a career day, though, and it wasn't just running the ball, it was catching the ball, too. I think he was the leading receiver for the Broncos on the day, which is wild. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater played the most Teddy Bridgewater game, and it was exactly what the Broncos needed to beat the Chargers. Efficient football, making short, easy completions, not doing too much, not turning the ball over, and winning the game because of the skill position players they have. And the Chargers just couldn't have Justin Herbert put up 40 to win it, so they were bound to lose.
I'm just amazed with every team in the AFC West, not from the state of Missouri, that is managing to actually lose enough games to opponents they shouldn't lose to, while still being able to beat opponents they shouldn't beat. So like if they beat the opponents that they weren't expected to beat, and then beat the crap teams too, they would all be like maybe even ahead of the Chiefs still. But no, they've all decided to like take a crap on like their season by like losing to crappy teams. And now Kansas City's back at the top of the division already, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go, but with how inconsistent these teams are, I don't feel like even if any of these secondary AFC West teams make the playoffs, maybe they have a lucky week for the wild card round, but they're not getting past the divisional round, and I don't think that's much of a question. So I don't know how much stock to put into any of them, even though I don't understand how the Broncos managed to beat the Chargers this week so handedly. Obviously, the pick six helps, but even if you just drop the pick six, if that pass goes incomplete, they still handled them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. PS2 had a good game too, so there's that as well. Yeah, Justin Herbert had a bad game, and when he has a bad game, the Chargers can't win. That's
pretty much
simple as that. He's like the Chargers are the definition of a team that just runs fully through their QB.
And then there's our favorite teams, Minnesota and San Francisco.
Yep, our Super Bowl favorites.
Don't count them out yet.
No, I won't. I mean, if Minnesota makes it to the Super Bowl, that will be the best Super Bowl ever played. Just that Super Bowl will like go on for hours. Just the countless amounts of overtimes it will go through. Yeah, it was a close game.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Minnesota had to play teams in college overtime?
Oh, jeez. I'd be tuning in to watch every single one of those and then finish it with a full beard by the end of it. Like, oh my god. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, and this game isn't over yet. But, yep, every single game that the Vikings play in is close. Kirk Cousins lined up underneath the right guard, which is funny. And Jimmy Garoppolo is still playing efficient football. He looks good, which is weird because he looked really bad at the start of the season.
Hey,
so
you just needed some tuning up.
I mean, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. When he's played, he's always been good, but then he gets injured. It was just weird to see him be bad because I just figured like, oh, he's bad, he'll stay bad now. But now he's back to like, yep, I'm playing efficient football and winning games, which is, it's weird. It's weird to see that.
I'm gonna steal one of your favorite lines and slightly alter it. Mike Zimmer gonna get back up to the podium this week. We will get back to mediocrity. That's
We will get back to mediocrity.
That's
he's putting Kellen Mond in.
No. You kidding me? You look at those Kirk Cousins stats. He's only thrown 2 interceptions this year. You can't take him out of the game if he's managing it that well.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's like you're giving me a heart attack. Mike Zimmer's old. He's not Pete Carroll old, but he's old.
Yeah, I think Kellen Mond's really about to step in and play some efficient football.
No, I'm not saying that he will. I'm just saying like Kirk Cousins is putting the Vikings in a situation where it's like, yep, it's nice to have him. He's efficient, but we could have. I mean, we did a whole like little short on this like before the season started, where we went through every single team's QB situation. We're like, could they get better here? And it's just the Vikings definitely could get better, but I mean, he's playing good.
Yeah,
enough.
All right, and now my my new favorite team to hate on. The LA Packers went to the the LA Rams went to play the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, the Rams, geez. I mean, it's been all over Twitter and everything. You could take the man out of Detroit, but you can't take the Detroit out of the man. And I don't want to think that Matthew Stafford is just like playing bad, but at the same time, it hasn't looked too great. I mean, this game was closer than I mean, it felt like the Packers were just gonna run away with this at one point. With how like lackadaisical the Rams were playing.
They still did.
Yeah, and I mean, OBJ finally got a touchdown, and it seems like he's hurt, and he's playing while hurt now. So
I think my favorite part about the Rams right now has nothing to do with how they're playing. but for some reason they're the only team in the NFL that has a bunch of players that wear shooter sleeves while wearing like undershirts that have sleeves on them that don't match the shooter sleeve color, and it looks god awful. Like that actually looks worse than like all the uniforms that everybody was complaining about 2 years ago that they said they hated that I actually liked. Yeah, no, I mean you can have a cool uniform and then do that crap and look absolutely terrible. Although Beckham used to look cool, now he looks like he just doesn't know how to dress. I swear. But yeah, no, that's my main concern for the Rams. On top of that, I mean, these Packers, I still don't get it, man. I don't get how these guys can play like I just I don't know. I don't love something about the Packers, but they keep winning and I just want to hate them because they're in Minnesota's division.
It's just one of those like even like watching that Packers game. I watched the full Packers game. Uh, it it just seems like Rodgers isn't trying, which is weird because he's playing really well. He's like on pace to maybe win MVP again, and it just seems like he doesn't care and he's not trying. Like not even the old Aaron Rodgers way of like, oh, he just doesn't care, man. He's just here to play football. No, like he just doesn't care. He's just showing up because he has to, and they're winning football games because of that. And yeah, with what you said, no one on the Rams knows how to dress. The Rams need to get their swagger back.
They sure do.
Football games.
And
I mean,
maybe it starts with like not having your new outside linebacker pick the number 40. I don't know. That doesn't.
that was his college number.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty ugly. I mean, I wore that number in high school, and I'll tell you that. Looks bad on Bob Miller. Yeah. I guess it's time to move on to the next game. The Cleveland Browns went and played the Baltimore Ravens, and I don't know. Did we learn anything from that game?
That we learned that Lamar Jackson can play his worst football, and the Ravens will still win. And the Browns are still really hurt.
Whoa. I thought you were about to say the Browns is the Browns, and I was
No. The Browns ain't the Browns yet. Not yet. Maybe in 2 weeks the Browns will be the Browns, but not now.
Yes. The most important part of this game is that John Johnson III came down with an interception.
Yes.
Big supporters of John Johnson III here. The illegal use of hands to the face football YouTube channel. Anyways, yeah, no, I didn't really enjoy much of this game. Tried watching some of it live and was like, I don't know, this one isn't calling to me right now. I don't really want to watch the banged up Browns, and I don't really want to watch an off Lamar Jackson either. And it was kind of just like,
yeah,
I don't know.
The main selling point for this game would be like, watch Lamar just beat up this team, and then he wasn't doing that. But
Yeah.
There wasn't a point during the game where I was like, the Ravens are going to lose this.
That's the other thing. Yeah, no, that's also what I was going to say. Like, the game was just, like, boring because it was like, okay, either I want to watch Lamar Jackson highlights or I want to see the team that I don't think is going to win, like, be competitive. And even though the score was close, like, I was just like, yeah, the Browns aren't going to win this.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, concluding with Monday Night Football, we had the Seattle Seahawks head to play the Washington football team.
This game was a thriller. I love this game. Taylor Heineke, he's back. He's returned to form. He beat Tampa, and all of his powers have come back.
What are you talking about?
I'm kidding.
The offense, no. But the funny thing is somehow, like if I lead my offense to the exact same amount of points every week, and then my defense either helps or hurts my team.
Yeah.
Everybody changes their opinion about me while I'm doing the same thing over and over again. They've scored like the same amount of points. Like they really haven't like started scoring a tremendous amount of points. But you know, when you only allow 15 points to the opposing team, that helps a lot. And I mean, you should be able to take 2 of those points off the board because of that blocked extra point too. Geez, that was kind of a fun point in the game. But besides that, I was like, yeah, I don't know, picked Washington, but I still don't know how much this game matters. But with how random it seems the league has been this year, you want to get back to the NFC East conversation. Maybe there is a chance that these guys can like put up a fight with Dallas or something, but I don't know. I'd be shocked to see two teams come out of this division. And I still feel like Dallas would have to start losing a lot more games for one of these teams to overtake them.
Well, I was thinking when I was watching this game, Russell, like, the Seahawks season is done. Like, it's done now. You lose to the football team, you're done. Russell Wilson, I think the Seahawks are better just sitting him out for the rest of the season. I know Mr. Unlimited doesn't play like that. Like, he's going to want to play, but you don't want your goods to be damaged before you go into the offseason and you maybe trade him. And then I was like, but their backup is Gino, and he's not fun. Like, you want to get a young guy out there, maybe evaluate some talent. And I don't know what Anthony Gordon's doing, but I know the Seahawks are familiar with him. They had him on the practice squad at one point, so maybe they give him a ring and see what he could do, and just watch him uncork Hail Marys the whole game.
Him? Whoa. Anthony Gordon was an efficient quarterback. That's what I'll tell you right there. But you're no Cole McDonald. Cole McDonald has an arm, but yeah, no. I mean, you got a ton of great guys on the street. Him and Buscelli are both out there. I mean, you could really go pick up anybody you want. We're 31 minutes into this, so we know no one's still sticking around, so we can just talk about my dream QBs that could potentially see some playing time at the end of the season for a team that's eliminated from the playoffs now. I mean, I hope, but instead we get people like Mike White who have one fun week and then like drop off the face of the planet. And yeah. So no, the NFL will never support my players. That's all I know.
I just checked the Seahawks practice squad. They got Jake Luton on there, so not even a fun guy either.
So annoying. Why? Everybody's got the most boring quarterbacks. Like, even my favorite example is still just Brett Hundley. Like, a guy who was so entertaining in college and just like came to the NFL and was like, wait, they don't like fun. I will not be able to be a backup QB if I'm entertaining. I need to like cut all that out and become a really boring guy. Just that's exactly what he did, just so he could have a long-term NFL career. And it's kind of hilarious because it's working.
Yeah. He took no fun league seriously.
Yeah, but they actually do it for second-string quarterbacks, which just makes no sense. It probably has to do with the fact that like fans will call for the backup QB if they're any bit entertaining at all. And
he started his career backing up Rodgers.
I know.
I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe he's like, I'm definitely not getting in the game, so I'm not gonna bother putting all these sleeves and stuff on.
Wear my visor, my eye tape, my swaggy helmet.
It doesn't matter putting the visor on the helmet. It's gonna be off the whole time.
Exactly. So tragic. Well, I'm glad we covered everything this week. We really hit the important stuff with the QBs at the end. Anything else?
I think we can cut this here.